Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella and today we are going to build my September TBR using my TBR jar. I've already picked out the books that I would like to read in the next 2 months for the fall season. So let's see what we're going to read this month. Also, you saw in the beginning that I did stop by Barnes & Noble today. They were having their 50% off hardcover sale. I picked up one book, so let's do a one book haul first, and then we will jump into the September TBR. So I got The Fable for the End of the World. Kind of a long-winded title. This is by Ava Reed, the author of A Study in Drowning and A Theory of Dreaming and a few other things. I just finished A Theory of Dreaming the other day, and then I had read A Study in Drowning right before that, and I quite enjoyed that little duology. And then I saw that they had this at Barnes & Noble, like this special edition with the sprayed edges, and it's got a really pretty undercover, like that. Look at that, iridescent, glossy. The cover itself is glossy, as you can see, because it's like glaring off of the light, and it's very shiny and pretty. But this is more like sci-fi, so I'm not going to add this to this month's TBR. If I just am in the mood to read it, which I do want to read it, that's why I bought it, but it's kind of more sci-fi leaning, so it's not going to be on the immediate TBR for right now. But that's my one book haul. So pretty. Okay, so like I said, I pulled all of the books that I want to probably read within the next 2 months. Obviously, I'm not going to read all of these books in the next 2 months. This is what I would like to choose from for those 2 months. But I am just going to pick for September right now. And I've got my handy dandy TBR jar. I'm going to pull 4 books, try and be reasonable, because I am in the middle of Les Mis still that I'm working on, and something else from the library. So we're gonna pick 4 for today from the little hamster wheel TBR jar. So let's do pick number 1. Gotta give it a good shake first. I have not used this jar in several months, so I can't even remember really like what some of the prompts were. I will show you first. What does that say? Free pick, oh my gosh. Okay, we are back. Sorry, my camera ran out of storage, as it often does. But you did see that I got free pick for my thing. I did pick Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I definitely want to read this month because the movie by Guillermo del Toro is coming out next month, I think, and I've never read it. I did read her mother's book, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, and I've obviously wanted to read Frankenstein for forever, so this is my free pick, and I definitely am gonna probably annotate it. Probably. I'm going to annotate it, so I hope I enjoy. Let's move on to the next pick. Okay, pick number 2. Let's see. What does that say? Is that upside down? 2-word title. Okay, let me have a peruse and see what is even an option. Okay, I have a couple of options. So I'm looking at Starling House, Pan's Labyrinth, or Wuthering Heights. Let me think a little further. I don't know what's jumping out to me. I don't know if I want to pick Wuthering Heights because I'm already reading Frankenstein and annotating it, so that might be a bit much, but I would like to read it soon. I think I would love it. I've heard such great things about Starling House though. I think I'm gonna pick Starling House for the 2-word title, and this has been on a TBR of mine before. So Starling House is book number 2. Since this book has been on a TBR of mine before, I think I've read the synopsis to you before. It is following the character of Opal, who is an orphan, a high school dropout, and a part-time cashier. She does have a younger brother, Jasper. She's trying to get them both out of their crappy little Kentucky town, which is only known for 2 things: bad luck and E. Starling, the reclusive 19th century author of The Underland, who disappeared over 100 years ago. All that was left behind were dark rumors and her home. Everyone agrees it's best to ignore the uncanny mansion and its misanthropic heir, Arthur. Almost everyone, anyway. She gets the chance, Opal, to step inside the Starling house and make some extra cash for her brother's escape fund, and she can't resist. But there are sinister forces digging deeper into the buried secrets of Starling House, and Arthur's own nightmares have become far too real. So, gothic, spooky house, very highly loved book. I can't wait to read. Let's pick for book number 3. What's it gonna be? Let me show you. My handwriting is so terrible. I think that's upside down again. What does that say? Flowers on the cover. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, I found 4 options. So option number 1 would be Belladonna, Purple Flowers. I've had that one for over a year, maybe 2. Phantasma, which I just got recently, I think for my birthday, also has flowers. A Knight in Shining Armor, which I got this year as well, has some flowers. And then Court of the Vampire Queen also has flowers, and this one I've probably had the longest. Okay, so I was considering which ones were part of a series. I know this one is a standalone and this one is a standalone. I don't really want to start a new series, so I'm gonna hold off on the other 2. And then I was flipping through the beginning of this one, which I have heard mixed things. I've heard people really don't like this, and then some people do really like it. Also, I'm so sorry if you can hear my crackhead neighbor banging on something. You never know what a crackhead is up to. But anyway, I was flipping to the beginning of A Court of the Vampire Queen, and it says, to everyone who is Team Damon, Team Spike, and far too into Dmitry Belikov, which I don't know the last guy, but Damon and Spike, love those kings. So I am going to have to pick Court of the Vampire Queen just because she name dropped 2 vampire people that I know and love dearly. So this is pick number 3, which, again, don't know what the plot of this is about. It's sold as a very spicy vampire book. That's all I need to know. I've heard one of the complaints is that there isn't much of a plot, so I will read it and report back to you if indeed there is an interesting plot or if it's just spice. We shall see. Okay, let's do pick number 4, and maybe we'll do a bonus pick depending what this is. Although I probably wouldn't read a bonus pick. Let's see. What does that say? More than 500 pages. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do a bonus pick. This is probably the last one. Let's see what is even an option. Okay, first book that I picked to flip through was Babel, and thankfully, or maybe not thankfully, I don't know, it is more than 500 pages. It is 542 pages. I don't want to get any spoilers, but it's 542 pages, and I was hoping to somehow put this on the TBR anyway because I really want to read it. I have not read an R.F. Kuang book yet, but Calabasas just came out and everyone's talking about it, so I really want to read this and then get to the Poppy War and one day read Calabasas. But I've heard such great things about this. I've had it for a little while. I love the cover. Babel is dark academia fantasy. Here's the synopsis for you. In 1828, Robin Swift, orphaned by cholera in Canton, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lovell. There he trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. Babel is the world's center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Silverworking, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power as the arcane craft serves the Empire's quest for colonization. For Robin, Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, but knowledge obeys power, and as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, he realizes serving Babel means betraying his motherland. As his studies progress, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and the shadowy Hermes Society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. When Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide, can powerful institutions be changed from within, or does revolution always require violence? So, sounds very good. Okay, I am going to be cheeky and pick a bonus pick, even though, if we're all being honest with each other, probably not going to read it. However, I would like it to be at the top of the list. Whatever it is. What does that say? Is that upside down? I can never tell. It was not. It was upside down before. Less than 300 pages. Now that is a gift. let's see what we've got. Okay, so for our less than 300 page options, we have A Dowry of Blood. This would be a reread. We Have Always Lived in the Castle, but it is really short. So I don't know, I might reread it next month if I have time. The Nancy Drew book that I hauled this summer, The Spider Sapphire Mystery. I've never read a Nancy Drew book, and it is quite short. It's like 170 pages, and the text is big. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get this one for sure. Or Dungeons and Drama, which is a romance, which is also short. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pick two of these because they're short. So I'm definitely gonna pick the Nancy Drew book because it's very short. And it's a kid's book, so it's big text. I imagine it's meant to be read, or it can be read faster because the language of the book is not that difficult. So Nancy Drew's The Spider Sapphire Mystery is going to go on the TBR. Again, I don't know what this is about. It's a Nancy Drew mystery. And then I'm going to pick between A Dowry of Blood or Dungeons and Drama. Let me think for a moment. What I'm thinking is I already have a romance and vampire both in A Court of the Vampire Queen that has both. And this is vampires and this is romance. Everyone says this is very good. I've heard good things about this too, but I think I'm leaning towards A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is like a dark romance following Constanta, who's transformed from a medieval peasant into a bride fit for an undying king. But when Dracula draws a cunning aristocrat and a starving artist into his web of passion and deceit, Constanta realizes that her beloved is capable of terrible things. Finding comfort in the arms of her rival consorts, she begins to unravel their husband's dark secrets. With the lives of everyone she loves on the line, Constanta will have to choose between her own freedom and her love for her husband. But bonds forged by blood can be broken only by death. Sounds so good, and everyone loves it. So I'm adding this one as the last book to our TBR. Okay, so our September TBR is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert, Babel by R.F. Kuang, The Spider Sapphire Mystery by Nancy Drew, and finally A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 books for September. Wish me luck. And tell me what books you are hoping to read this September in the comments. And if you've read any of these, hype me up. Tell me good things about them. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!